Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone. Oh my gosh, I am having the most wild hay fever. I feel like I keep coming on here like once a week being like, I cannot breathe, but I'm very sorry if I'm like sniffly and I sound stuffed up. I think there must be like it seems to be like I get it when I wear overcoats or blazers or something that I haven't worn in a long time. And I feel like maybe at our last house, all the problems with that house, rat vibes. We kept everything really closed because we were like scared of the vermin. And I'm wondering if some of the clothes that I don't wear very often that I've now started wearing again for winter, like if they maybe, I don't know if they're like really dusty or something because they haven't been properly aired out, but like I am truly dying today. So I'm very sorry. Anyways, let's get on to the stories for today because I actually have quite a few. So, the first story that I have for you guys is a bit of a two-parter. So, we're going to be talking about some stuff that's going on with Brianna Chickenfry. So, first, she has called out Alix Earle for using her merch design. So, Alix recently launched merch for her podcast, Hot Mess, that says, "If you're reading this, I'm hungover," on the back of her hoodie. Alix's merch, as we know, it really pops off, and she's done such a great job of making her designs really fun and interesting, but also very on brand. And her merch seems to just be like very, very successful. So today, Brianna LaPaglia, also known as Brianna Chickenfry, made a video showing that she made merch with this exact same saying a couple years ago. It was also a hoodie with this saying on the back of it. I mean, I wouldn't actually call this like a call out per se because she was really casual in her video and she kind of showed the merch like next to Alix's, but she was like really chill about it. But still, she still made the video, so it was still like something. I think the kind of big thing here is that you actually can find shirts and, hoodies and stuff with that saying on it on different fast fashion websites. And I feel like that's just like a saying from like anonymous Twitter days, like, when it was like party girl problems and stuff. If you're a millennial, So, I mean, I wouldn't say it's like any type of like copyright issue, but, just something interesting to note. But the other part of this story is that people are kind of starting to question what's going on with Brie and her podcast. So people are worried that something might be going on with her podcast, Plan Brie, that she does with her best friend, Grace. On a recent episode, Brianna talked about not wanting to spend the summer in New York City and how she also wants to launch like a solo project. They did like separate updates in this episode. And then so in Grace's update, she talked about how she's staying in New York City and that she hasn't left her house in like 3 days. And people were just in the comments being like, the vibes are off. Like something is going on. I'll read some of the comments on the YouTube video. So some of the top comments say, "Brie is giving me PTSD on shitty friend who chooses guy over the girlies. Bye, Brie, we ride for Grace." She means Brianna's boyfriend, Zach Bryan, who's a country singer. Someone else wrote, "Please just make this Grace's podcast already. Brie has prioritized her man. Grace is putting in the work. Plan Brie is not fun anymore, and Brie is not Brie anymore. I wish her the best. I really do, but I feel for Grace." Someone else wrote, "Grace, I really hope you see these comments and see how many strangers are rooting for you. I really, really hope you have good friends in your corner. Length of a relationship does not equal quality." Someone else wrote, "The fact that this podcast is named after Brianna, who has stopped showing up for it completely, is crazy. Grace carries and needs her own podcast." I'm not sure if the criticism or the comments about Brianna choosing her man are totally fair. I think that is just kind of like when you get in a relationship, your priorities might shift, especially he has a very high demand job. Like he's on the road a lot. I guess she's probably traveling with him a lot and things like that. Or she's planning, she plans her schedule around when he's back in town, like things like that. So I think it's just like the stage of life, unfortunately. And that's the stage, like that's the age that they're both at, right? Like I'm in my early 30s. And I mean, that's just kind of what happens when you get to your mid to late 20s and some of your friends start getting in really serious relationships, start getting engaged, maybe they get married. People like drop off. It does happen. And sometimes if you as a person in the relationship is not like actively trying to maintain your independence and your own life separate to your partner and the life that you're creating together with them, you can create distance between yourself and your single friends because you feel like you're in different stages of your life. And like you are, but I don't know, you're also not. Like I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just me being delusional, but I think most of my friends would say that I have a very independent life to my husband, Sean, and I've never let being in a relationship change that for me. I very much choose partners who want to have their own life as well because, it's nice to have a life together, obviously, but like for me, I would much rather like maintain who I am and my independence and like chase my own goals no matter what. And if somebody wants to be alongside me like that, then that's great. But I'm not going to start changing my whole life to build something separate with them if it doesn't align with what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. So I do feel like there are different ways to have relationships. I feel like it's very Sagittarius of me to have relationships like that, but that is just the truth. Like Sean and I obviously are married and together, but we do have very independent lives, and that was important to me. So it's just all about like what your priorities are. And maybe Brianna's priorities are different right now. I don't know. One comment about all of this on TikTok says that the rift between them started when Grace went on a Chart brand trip and Brie didn't, and she seemed jealous about that trip. I didn't see that kind of conversation, but that's one theory. And then another commenter claims that Grace and Brianna's boyfriend, country singer Zach Bryan, unfollowed each other. So I checked, they don't follow each other on Instagram, but I can't actually confirm if they ever did. So take that with a grain of salt. All right, the next story that I have for you guys, this is a quick little one. Again, for the TikTok trends, like the marketing girlies, social media girlies. I know a lot of you guys listen to the pod, so I'm keeping that in mind now with Mini Scroll, now that I'm like sharing so many stories every single week. I feel like it gives me more of an opportunity to share like trends and things that maybe wouldn't have made the cut when it was like a viral news episode. Okay, so there's this new trend on TikTok. It's called Match My Freak, and it's actually quite easy, so it's a good one if you do run points on like social for a company, you have your own brand, you're trying to grow on TikTok, you can easily do this. So videos are set to a remix of Tinashe's Nasty and Space Song by Beach House. It's kind of like slowed down. It's like a mashup remix of it. The videos are so quick and easy to replicate. Like I said, basically users film themselves either like looking out a window or like searching for something with text over it that says match my freak ? How about you match my blank. So one example is by user Carmel Soprano, who wrote match my freak ? How about match my curiosity for the unknown, my desire to learn, my thirst for knowledge. So a lot of users are also using like yearning as the thing to match. I feel like it started with like match my freak. Why don't you match my yearning for X? So if you really want to be like in with the trend, you could use yearning for something. But yes, that's the trend. Just high level, that's the trend. So something easy to jump on, and I think it's like a really funny one. It's definitely satirical, so like make it funny. Okay, the next story that I have for you guys is that Landon Barker has shaded Charli D'Amelio on his Instagram story. So it seems like Landon is still struggling from his split with Charli. Yesterday, he posted a photo on his story writing, "I really like this photo of myself." The photo was this kind of like cropped in, zoomed in photo. And obviously, internet sleuths found the original, as I'm sure he knew they would. And the original picture is of him standing beside Charli. And also Kendall Jenner on the other side, but it's like a picture of him and Charli. So I think that was just a little bit of shade. I would love to know why they broke up, because I think when they broke up, I think it was Josh Richards said that he was Team Charli, and he said it, I think it was him. Somebody in that world was asked, and he said, "I'm Team Charli like all the way." So I feel like that is an indicator about what happened. Anyways, guys, that's it for Mini Scroll today. For Mini Scroll this week, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it's Thursday. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. I'm so excited for you guys to hear my episode tomorrow. It's a good one. Like I said yesterday, it's with Meredith Lynch, and we talk about influencer scams and social media fraud. And I think it's a really good one. We talk about all the different ways that creators and influencers are scamming their audiences, and it's a good one. So anyways, please rate, review, and subscribe. As I said, it helps me so much, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.